Hey guys, what's up? I'm Charan from Just 3D Things. I'll be talking about how math works in creating materials in Blender. So let's get started. First of all, let's talk about coordinate systems that we can use in Shader Editor in Blender. Let's rearrange the scene quickly. I recommend you to enable the Node Wrangler add-on because it makes our lives easier. Let's create a material by clicking this button and let's add the texture coordinate node. If you Ctrl Shift click, you can see that it toggles between the coordinate systems. For simplicity purpose, let's start with object coordinate system. In three-dimensional Cartesian coordinate system, we have 8 octants corresponding to the 3 axes, the x-axis, the y-axis and the z-axis. So in the object coordinate system, we see that all 8 octants are visible. We can see a white octant. The white color represents the positive octant. In other words, the octant corresponding to the positive xyz axis. Diagonally opposite to the white octant, we have a black octant. In other words, the octant corresponding to the negative xyz axis. Similarly, all the other octants are color coded as you can see in the 3D viewport. Whereas in generated coordinate system, we can only see the positive octant. But when it comes to the two-dimensional Cartesian coordinate system, we only have two axes. For example, the x-axis and the y-axis, which corresponds to the red channel and the green channel. That's why you cannot see any trace of blue in 2D object coordinate system. Now let's get hands-on with math. I assume that everyone of us did math in high school. We all played with graphs, right? For drawing equations in graph sheet, we need variables like x and y. To access these variables corresponding to the axis in Blender, we use separate XYZ node. Before applying any math, I want you guys to understand one thing. In Blender, black corresponds to a value which is less than or equals to 0. White represents to the value which is greater than or equals to 0. Anything that has a value between 0 and 1 basically has the shade of grey. Like 0.5 is pure grey, 0.25 is dark grey and 0.75 is light grey. So now let's add the separate XYZ node. Shift A, search separate XYZ. Let's place it here. And let's connect the separate XYZ node to the object coordinate system. Let's connect the X value to the surface. You might not understand what's going on. Don't worry, it will all make sense in a moment. To explain what's going on, I will move to another software. It's Desmos. You can go to Desmos website by clicking the link in the description. This amazing web-based software helps us to visualize graphs by taking equations as inputs. Now let's select one of the presets. Here we can see the slope-intercept form of the line, where y is equal to mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the intercept. By changing the slope, we can change the angle of the line, and by changing the intercept, we can change the offset of the line. Now let's change the slope to 0 and the intercept to 0. Now we can see it coincides with the x-axis, which makes the equation y is equals to 0. And math students already figured out that y equal to 0 is nothing but x-axis. And what if we change the intercept now? Let's see what happens. You can see the line gets offsetted. And if we change the slope, the angle changes. In the same way, x is equals to 0 is nothing but y-axis. And now if we change the equation to x less than or equals to 0, let's see what happens. The whole area towards your left hand side gets shaded. And now if we change this to x greater than or equals to 0, see the right hand side of the line gets shaded, or else the positive side of the line gets shaded. Now let's come back to Blender and let's understand what's going on. When we connect x to the surface output, it mimics the behavior of x equals to 0. So the black part represents x less than or equals to 0, which in Blender terms means black, as I told before. The white part represents x greater than or equals to 0, which in Blender terms means white. Now we can do mathematical operations like offsetting the line or rotating the line. Offsetting the line is nothing but adding intercept or adding values or subtracting values to x. Rotating is nothing but multiplying x with the slope m, like mx plus c. Remember? Let's try this out. For doing any sort of mathematical operations, you need to add math node. Let's add it. Shift A, search math node, and let's place it here. Let's rearrange the scene to make it more visible. Let's explore math node now. We have so many operations in the drop down menu, like functions, comparisons, trigonometric equations, etc. Let's not go too deep. Let's get started with the basic operations like addition and subtraction. Performing an operation on an image is like performing that operation to every pixel of that image. But if we do math using two images, like adding two images or multiplying two images, Blender takes the corresponding pixels of both images and do the operation. Now let's get hands-on. Before that, let's change our equation a bit. Instead of y equals to mx plus c, let's write y minus mx minus c is equals to 0. Here, let's use PEMDAS rule, which stands for parentheses, exponents, division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. It tells us the order in which we should solve the expression. So first we have to compute the multiplication, which is m into x. So connect the x output of math node and change the operation to multiplication. The second socket can be used to change the value of m or the slope. Next up, subtract the output value from y. Let's duplicate the math node and change the operation to subtract. We have to subtract x from y, so connect y to the first socket and the output of mx to the second socket. Now we have to subtract c from the output, so duplicate the math node and leave the operation to subtraction. Connect the output of the first socket, then use the second socket as intercept. Now we can connect this to the output, and bam, we got the line. Just like I said before, we can change the angle of the line by changing the slope. Here we go. Now we can control the rotation of our line. To offset the line, we can change the intercept. Here we go again. Now we can control the offset too. It's a very simple math. So let's do something more fun. Let's make this little heart in Blender. Now I found this equation online, so let's try to recreate this equation in Blender. So first of all, let's use PEMDAS rule and let's compute the thing inside the parentheses. So first let's compute mod x, or else the absolute value of x. We can do that by adding a math node and changing the operation to absolute and connecting x value to the input socket. And this is how it looks right now. Now we have to square root it. So again, duplicate the math node by clicking Shift D and changing this to square root. Next up, we have to subtract this whole value from y. So again, duplicate. We have to connect the first socket with let's change it to subtract and connect the first socket with y and the second socket from the square root. Now let's see how this looks. Yeah, we might start getting this shape here. Now let's continue. Now we computed the thing inside the parentheses. Now let's square the parentheses. It's very simple again. Squaring is nothing but powering it by 2, right? Change it to power and set the value to 2. Next up, we have to add x squared to the whole value, which we computed till now. So let's do that. Let's duplicate this power node and let's connect x value to the first input. And this is how it looks, only the x square part. Now let's add both of them. Let's duplicate the power node, put it here, change this to add and plug this value here. Yeah, you might see it starts getting like a heart. The final step is we have to subtract this 1 from the whole value. So let's duplicate this math node, change this to subtract, and yeah, bam, that's how it is. Let's change this value to 1. It's literally the same equation, and we did it. So we made a pretty decent heart. The reason why it looks like this because there's a gradient between these two colors, the black color and the white color. The gray areas are not equals to 0. They are close to 0 but not 0. So to make it sharp, we can do it in many ways. One of the ways to multiply the whole image by a higher number. When we multiply with a higher number, all the values in this image which are not equals to 0 will brighten. The region with value 0 won't get affected. But we have an issue here. That is, we can see that the whole plane gets lighted up. And we don't want that. It happens because when we multiply the white value with higher value, it's nothing but multiplying the value of 1 with a higher number. Any value that is higher than 1 in Blender starts emitting light. That's why we can see the emission look. To counter this, we can click this clamp option. This tells Blender to restrict the higher value to 1. If any value go beyond 1, it will get rounded to 1. And that's it, we made the heart. Now comes the more interesting part of the video, masking. For masking, we mainly use two nodes, Mix RGB node and Mix Shader node. Let's add the two nodes. Shift A, search Mix RGB, and Shift A, search Mix Shader. We can see that both the nodes have three inputs. The first one is the factor, and the second is the color, and the second one is the color in the Mix RGB node. Whereas in Mix Shader node, the first one is factor, the second one is a shader, and second one is a shader. So the Mix RGB node mixes the colors, whereas the Mix Shader node mixes the shaders. Now let's talk about masking. A mask is a black and white image or a grayscale image that will be using to segregate the important aspects of the material. It's mostly used as factor in Mix RGB and Mix Shaders. If we give a black image to the factor, it means the factor is equals to 0 because black is equals to 0 according to Blender terms, which means it will take 100% of the color which is on the top or the top shader in Mix Shader node. In the same way, if we give a white image to the factor, it means the factor is equals to 1, which means it will take 100% of the bottom color or the bottom shader. If the image is somewhere in the range of gray or between 0 and 1, it means it will take a little from each color or the each shader and mix it based on the mode you have chosen. So basically the mask will decide how much of the top color or the bottom color is to be chosen. Now let me show what I mean. What I mean by this is, if we connect our amazing looking heart to the factor, I think you can't see much, but when I change the color to some different colors, this is where the magic happens. As I told before, all the regions with black color obtain the top color, whereas the regions with white color obtain the bottom color. If the region is gray, then let's see what happens. Let me change the multiplication factor to 1 and let's see. When I do that, you can see there's a gradient of gray surrounding the heart. So as I told before, it means it will take little from each color and mix according to the mode we have chosen. And here we can see there is a mix of both red and green. This is what I mean by masking. The same thing happens to the shaders as well. So let's quickly drop two different shaders. I'll choose two principal BSD shaders because it's an ultimate shader. So let's do this. Now quickly I'll change the base colors of the two shaders as well as I'll tweak some values in the bottom. And let me mix the both using Mix Shader node. And let's see what happens. And the factor will be our heart. Let's see what happens. Now you can see that two regions got two different types of shades. We can see that all the black region got the top shader, which is highly glossy and metallic, whereas the white part got the second shader, which is highly rough, so there is no gloss at all. And the regions which are gray obtain the shades of both shaders. This is what I mean by masking. I hope you all understood how we can use math in mixing colors and shaders and how masking works. In the next upcoming tutorials, let's dive into a little more complex math and make complex materials. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe to our channel. If you have any doubts, drop it in the comment section. We'll try to clarify it. And that's it for today guys. Thank you and have a nice day.